Hi folks, Stefan again. We're going to do another screencast. I'm going to open up Dreamweaver now. What we're going to do is set up a website using the templates that are given to us in Dreamweaver CS4. Now again, I'm using CS3. Sorry, apologies for any confusion that may cause, but there's nothing that we can do. What I want to do is start off with a new HTML page. Okay, and what we're going to use, whoops, not that one, sorry. Again, go back to here. I just press Command W there to close that page, or Control W on a Mac. What we're going to do is start with start a theme, and you can see here when you choose one of those, you get different options here. Now it might look different in CS4. I'm pretty sure it does, but it doesn't matter. I want you to fish around and I want you to see if you can find this. If you have any problems, email me straight away, and I can tell you exactly where is the right place to look. But I want to encourage people to start exploring the interface and not to be scared of it and trying to find things themselves. Okay, so we're going to go for a blank template. Well, you can go actually for a blank page. We're going to choose HTML and choose any of these really you want in your own time. We'll all follow the same one here, but I'd like you to choose something that quite like the look of that one. I'd like you to choose something that you're familiar with before, that you're familiar with. Well, I'm going to choose this one, the where is it? This one, the 2-column elastic with a left sidebar and a header. There's our header. There's our left sidebar, and there's our content body and our footer. We've seen that before, right? So maybe I'll try a different one then. Let's have a look at the 3-column ones. That's quite nice. So a header, sidebar, sidebar, main content body, and a footer. Okay. Now, when you set it up here, it can ask you to attach a CSS file, which is here. Add to head, which is the layout CSS, or you can create a new CSS file yourself, which is really handy here. All this stuff here. So it's good, it's essential to set yourself up properly, right? So what we'll do is we'll create a new file. Okay, and let's go create. Now I'm going to go into my work. I'm going to choose IACT, FOSS, and I set up this folder week 5. Now I know that that you're not in the 5th week of the course, but it's what I do is for my own clarity. Okay, so you can change, you can name that folder anything you want. So in week 5, there's the CSS. That's a bit crazy for me now. So I'm going to just go style sheet. So I've renamed the file as style sheet.css, and that's saved. Now here's our header, our sidebar, our main content, our sidebar 2. Lovely. And you can see that's all, look in the script here in the code, you can see it's all broken into divs with different names, sidebar, everything. So that's handy. Now you'll be thinking, why didn't we do this in the first place? And the answer is because you're never going to be able to make something from, in Dreamweaver, get Dreamweaver to do everything for you. Everything's going to need a little bit of customization, and you're not going to be able to do that until you understand the mechanics of what's happening, until you understand all of the things we've gone through in the past few courses. So what I'm going to do now is, if I save this, well, I'm going to preview it first because that asks you to save it. So File, Preview in Safari. Yes, I want to save this. I'm going to save it in Work. That's where I saved my last one. IACT, FOSS, week 5, and I'm going to call it Index. You can see the style sheet there is saved. So Index, save. And that's the preview now. That's what it looks like. So that's what it's going to look like on the internet, which is nice, nice and formatted and structured already for us. So we don't have to worry about a lot of things that we'd already had a look at. But what I want you to do is, when I look at that now, it looks a little bit thin, especially on my monitor. Because look, I've got all this space over here, and then I've got all this space over here, and then I've got all this space down here. So I'd like to fill mine out a bit to make sure it will fit in all browsers. Now remember what I said to you last week, that they fit in grids, www.960.gs. there's a 960 grid, and you can see like here's the edge here on the left, and here's the edge here on the right. Sorry, don't look at my mouse, but I'm trying to close it off with the cropping I have from my screencast. But this is considerably wider than our other one. You can see it there. I mean, if I wonder, can I load up different colors, because it's quite difficult to see it. But what we'll do for now is we'll widen this fella, okay? But what we're going to do first is to manage our site and to set it up and to have everything working properly first. So jump over to Dreamweaver, Alt and Tab, or kind of Command and Tab, and I'm going to manage this fella. So manage sites, new one, site, maybe example. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't need, it's not up online yet. We don't need that yet. So next, I don't want to use a server technology because I'm going to just do it from my computer here. I don't need that connection to the internet. We're going to keep everything local on our own machines. Where on my computer do I want to store it? Let's have a look at this. Sorry, one thing. How do you want to work with your files during the development? Edit local copies on my machine. Perfect. And we want to find where we're going to save it. So I look up in here. Again, I go to work. I probably should have done this in the beginning. But, you know, it doesn't matter really when you do it. It's best to do it at the beginning because then it means everything else automatically goes in there. But what I like to do is it's okay to do it earlier on, right? Because you'll have less work to do, but we're going to have to link these. So if I go choose, that's where it is. Yes, lovely. Next. How do you want to connect to your remote server? None for now. It would be FTP, but none for now is okay. Next. Done. And there we are. Done. So you can see now our style sheets in there and our index pages.